Have you seen this article?
Yeah, amazing.
Have you seen this article?
No. Have you seen
Of
this?
course, the Muslims haven't seen
Have you
this.
seen this?
The Muslims do not want to see this.
Made him talk about something.
Now, last week we talked about halal marriages.
Is that Christianity?
Yes, Jay.
We talked about halal marriages, did we not?
Can we discuss the
And
topic?
that material that we
Can we
talked
have a
about
debate in 2 weeks?
last week on
Can we have a
halal
debate in 2
marriages,
weeks?
we have just put it up online, have we
We have,
not?
Can we have a
Jay.
debate?
How many people
we have
have
a
watched
debate?
it
Can
since
we have
we
a
put it
debate
up
in 2
online?
weeks?
Well, over 6,500 people.
Actually, it's over 7,000 now.
Yeah, in just 12
It's over
hours.
7,000 have already watched
Can we have a
it.
debate?
In 12 hours.
And we just put it up last night.
Can we have a
that's
debate?
right.
What does that tell you,
That tell you
Sharon?
that he's a pastor.
It tells-
That's why,
And he
what does
did
that
it in
tell
the
you?
name of Christianity.
I don't believe that.
You're losing your voice. You're losing your voice now. Okay, Ali, go ahead.
I'm not touching it.
What does that say about the halal marriages?
That's what it says, and it's wrong. It's something
Did you
wrong.
all hear about halal marriages? Okay,
Can we now have a
Sharon.
debate?
Can we have a debate?
Let's do it.
Can we have a debate?
Can we have a
No.
debate? Today.
No, I said in 2 weeks. In 2
Okay.
weeks.
Last week he said this.
So
Are you going to repeat yourself over and over again?
I don't believe you.
You're a liar.
Do you believe you're going to have
You
a
got a
debate
short
in 2
second.
weeks? Thank you. Bye.
Now.
Where's your toothpick?
Now.
You got a toothpick.
I love you. You're a great guy. Come back in 2 weeks.
Do you love Hitler?
You and I, we've been doing this for years, haven't
Do
we?
you love Hitler?
toothpick
Do you
out.
love Hitler?
Okay, here we go.
Do you love Hitler?
Let's go, let's go.
Do you love
Let's go,
Hitler?
don't worry about it.
I need the toothpicks. But so here we go.
Yeah, okay, so in this article, two women on television discussed Surah 434.
These articles keep coming up. This one just came up on the 14th of April. That's 2 days ago.
2 days ago, Jay.
On
yeah.
Friday, this came up again. And on Friday, they talked about this, what we call the beating of women.
Yeah, Surah 434.
Surah 4, Ayah 34.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is in Australia. These two Muslim
That's
women
right, yeah.
put a video up on how to beat a wife.
That's right, Jay. Yeah.
How to beat your wife. How Muslim men are to beat their Muslim wives.
Yes.
This is not in Saudi Arabia.
This is in
not in
Australia.
Qatar or Bahrain or Pakistan.
Yeah.
This is Australia.
Yeah, and
that this was being done.
there's naturally been a great outcry about this.
There should have
It's
been
wrong.
a big outcry.
There has been. There has been.
And
the
what did
Australians
they
are really
say?
cross about it.
What did they say?
The two women said that Muslim men can hit their wives only softly.
So Muslim men can hit their wives, but they must hit
them softly.
And what must they use?
They actually said using short pieces of stick or fabric.
And here you can see
Yes.
the short piece of stick.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So if you tapped it with a short piece of stick, in fact, the other woman is laughing here, isn't she?
Yes.
Why
she
do you
is.
think she's laughing?
Because it's a joke, Jay. I mean, what is the point?
It's a joke, exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Now, here at Speaker's Corner, we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
And Muslims have always said that this piece of stick should be really toothpicks.
That's right. The Muslim woman that's laughing actually referred to it as being a great blessing. She said that it's symbolic and it's a great blessing.
Here you go. I've got some toothpicks. I picked up some toothpicks. So what they're saying is, all you need is one toothpick. And this is all you need to hit your wife with. Now, let's go through and let's see what that verse is. I want you to read that verse in Surah 4, Ayah 34. And I want you to read it in Hilali and Khan. Because it's very clear in Hilali and Khan what this is to me. Because in Surah 4, it does mention that wives are going to be disobedient, right?
That's right.
So go ahead and read what it says in Hilali and Khan.
Hilali and Khan, Surah 434, men are the protectors and maintainers of women because Allah has made one of them to excel the other. And because they spend from their means or to support them, therefore the righteous women are devoutly obedient to Allah and their husbands and guard in their husbands' absence what Allah orders them to guard, i.e. their chastity. As to those women on whose part you see ill conduct.
So those women who you see ill conduct, what does that mean to you?
Well, we would need context for that, Jay, but it could mean anything.
Anybody who disagrees with you, it could mean
Absolutely,
anything, right?
it could mean anything.
Or bad conduct. What are you supposed to do first?
Well, you're supposed to admonish them first.
Naughty, naughty. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
admonish them.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
Don't do
Naughty
it
woman.
again, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if that doesn't work, and it usually doesn't, what are
Yeah.
they supposed to do next?
The next one's interesting because it says that they'll be banished from the bed. Refuse to share their beds.
Okay, now Sharon, why is that more serious than just saying
Yeah.
naughty, naughty?
Well, for me, my understanding is it's very serious because not just now, where Muslim women often have to share their husbands, compete for their husband's affections with another wife. In those days, what value did a Muslim woman have apart from childbearing? So if she has vanished from the bed, what is her worth? She has no worth.
So it really is much more serious than just saying naughty, naughty.
That's right. Yes.
But
much
if
more
that
serious.
still doesn't work, what are they supposed to do next?
They're supposed to beat them.
Beat them. And it doesn't say with what there, does it?
It doesn't say with what. No.
Now,
But-
in the Arabic,
Yeah.
the word is daraba.
Daraba. Yeah.
Daraba. So what does daraba mean?
Daraba is to scourge.
But these women, where's that piece of paper that I handed you? These women here are saying softly.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yeah.
where are they getting this idea of softly from that verse?
Well, it's not from the verse, so they must be, I would say, probably recent commentators, perhaps, are trying to mitigate the seriousness of what's in their own Qur'an.
So, okay, if you can just hold that. So here you go. You've got them saying, naughty, naughty, don't do it again. Throw them from the bed. That still doesn't persuade you.
Yeah.
Take a sick. Now, most Muslims believe it's a toothpick. So, Sharon, I'm going to beat you with this toothpick. Don't do it again.
Okay,
Is that going to persuade you?
No.
Can you see how stupid that sounds? How could that persuade you? A little toothpick.
It's silly, Jay.
It is silly.
It's ridiculous.
Can you see
yeah.
why she's laughing here?
Yes.
Even as she says it, she is laughing. It's obvious that they don't believe what they've just said.
That's right, Jay.
Can you believe that any husband should have the right to beat his wife?
Absolutely not, Jay.
Do we allow that here in Britain?
No, we don't. Actually, you will end up in court and probably in prison if you do that in Britain.
Even in Northern Ireland?
Yes,
Especially in Northern
especially
Ireland.
in Northern Ireland, yes.
So these women belong to the Hizb al-Tahrir.
That's
She
right, yeah.
says, according to that hitting must be done in a managed way,
In a managed
with a
way.
short stick, a twisted scarf, or a scrap of fabric.
Okay, let's think about this another way. How do you define managed, and how does a man who is perhaps angry with his wife, how does he manage his temper?
Well, he doesn't, obviously.
No, he doesn't.
And what then she says, and this is what was really telling. The second woman, this woman said,
It's a beautiful.
and a beautiful blessing. It's a beautiful blessing to be hit by your husband. Sharon, I have a hard time with that.
So do
What
I,
does
Jay.
that say to you?
Well, you know, if it wasn't so sad and tragic that women actually suffer because of what's in this book, then it would actually be really funny. But because of the repercussions of how women are treated, because of the likes of what's in here, then it's actually really very sad.
Now, you're a Christian.
And it's against the teachings of the Bible.
And what does the Bible say? I mean, we always go to
Yeah,
the Bible,
of
don't
course we do, Jay.
And what do we see in the Bible
Well, it's-
concerning beating of women?
Well, it's just not there, Jay.
It's not there.
It's not there. In fact,
In the New Testament,
that's
in
right.
the Gospel of Jesus Christ,
Yes,
you can't
Jay.
find any reference
No, you
to the
can't.
beating of women.
No, you can't, Jay.
In fact, what do you find concerning men and women in the New Testament? What does Jesus say? And what does Paul say
Yeah,
about men
yeah,
and women and the
absolutely.
relationship we should
Yeah.
have?
Well, men are to love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So what that means is that Christian men must be prepared to die for their wife.
Whoa! As Jesus was willing to
As
die
Jesus died
for the
for
church.
me and died for you and for
Then that
others.
means that you, me as a husband, and I am married,
Yes, and
me
me
as a
also,
husband, I should be willing to die for
That's
my
right,
wife.
yes.
What a corrective.
He was not a
Oh,
hate preacher.
What
it's
a
amazing.
beautiful
He was not a
alternative.
hate preacher.
Yes, Jay.
And
Just
what
remember, he was
a
not
beautiful
racist.
way
He was not
to
a hate
end this
preacher.
whole thing here.
Yeah.
Because Jesus is very clear in 1 Corinthians chapter 7
Yeah.
that the woman's body is equal to a man's body,
Yes.
is it not?
Yeah, what it actually says in 1 Corinthians 7, 4-5, the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does.
Sharon, help me with that. as a woman, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel equal.
That means I cannot hit
Confidence.
you.
Absolutely not,
And you
Jay.
dare not hit me
I
either.
know, Jay.
Isn't
Jesus
that
wouldn't
great?
be happy with me if I did that.
There is no difference between man or woman,
No.
Jew or Greek,
Slave or free. In
All
Christ
are
they're all
equal
equal.
in Jesus
Amen.
Christ.
Don't have there's no mixed messages. There's no danger to women from the likes of these verses, which can be taken very literally by their husbands. We don't have that. We have the model. Jesus Christ tells us exactly how we are to treat each other, and more especially in this context, how men and women, as husband and wife, are to treat each other.
But Sharon, they still have to talk about this verse.
They do,
still
Jay.
have to have
Well, it's not
meetings
gonna
where
go
they're going
away.
to talk about how is it that men are to be wives, because that verse is in the Quran.
It's there,
you
Jay.
cannot walk away from the Quran. You cannot dismiss the verse. The verse is there in the Quran,
So they try
in
to-
Surah 4,
yeah.
Ayah 34. And can you see why these women had to have this meeting?
Absolutely.
But look at their conclusion. This is in Australia. That's probably the other reason why they had to have this meeting, because people were reading this verse in Australia,
That's right,
as
Jay.
we have here in Britain. And we've asked Muslims, how do you help us to understand this verse? You have asked that, haven't you?
Absolutely, Jay.
Because you
Yeah.
as a woman do not want to have to live under this jurisdiction.
I do not want to
you
live
don't want
under
to have
that,
to
no.
follow that book, the Quran.
That's right, yeah.
Because that means any man can beat his wife according to the Quran. No wonder they had to come up with some type of solution.
That's right, Jay.
But we don't have that problem in Christianity.
No, we don't have to worry
We've
about
got a
that,
great
Jay.
man.
We do, Jay.
And we've got a great book. And who is that man and what is his name?
His name is Jesus Christ, and he's the Son of God.
Why do we keep coming back to him? Every time we keep coming back to him.
Because he is the solution to everything. He's our Savior. He's our only way to get to heaven, and he's the way, the truth, and the life.
I love him.
I love him
You love
too,
him.
Jay. I do, Jay.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Sharon.
you.
Good to have you on.